So today is a very green day in the markets. The Nasdaq up almost 3%, the Dow up 2.3%, the S&P up almost 3%, sitting up about 2.7% at the time of recording this video, with only a couple minutes left of the trading day. Now, with that being said, we have a couple key events throughout the rest of this short week, and I want to go over a price prediction video for AMC stock and potentially what I see happening. I did not make a video yesterday because, quite honestly, it was one of the worst days of my life, and I just was not able to make a video. So we are going to get into that video, which is normally posted Sunday night. Yesterday's case would have been Monday night. So let's get into that information. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. Get your free stock with Webull, Moomoo, and Public. If you guys are unaware, Moomoo right now is offering you 7 free stocks when you sign up and fund your portfolio with $100. So take advantage of that while it does last. If you guys want my trades in real time, you guys want to come join that group, link down below in the pinned comment to do so for that. So getting straight into it. Like I said, the S&P up about 2.6% right now. The Nasdaq up more than that. The Dow up slightly less than that, right? Everything is substantially green. You've seen a big gap up, and the simplest way to really boil that down is we had the Fed meeting, which we had fallen about 15% heading into the Fed meeting. We had fallen a little bit after the Fed meeting. As you guys know, it was kind of like the Fed meeting in May, where you went up right after the Fed meeting. The next day, you went down and hit lower lows after essentially the Fed meeting. You were sitting at the lows for 2022. The fear catalyst is out the way. So that's why you're seeing a 2.5% rally in the S&P. And by my estimates, you could probably rally 5 to 10% from the bottom. That would put the S&P about 10% higher at 402, and I think that is a pretty reasonable thing to look forward to. Even 5% would put us at about 384, and we're halfway there already. So congratulations to anyone that did hit that trade. I know it has been a good one. Nonetheless, what to expect throughout this week and how it's going to pertain to AMC stock. I think one of the biggest events is going to be on Thursday, and that is the Fed stress test, essentially where the Fed puts the banks under a lot of financial stress, literally in the name, stress test. And I believe it's like 15% unemployment, deep recession, and see how the banks perform. And depending on how that goes, I think that could give a lot of people a lot of optimism for some of your momentum stocks, but at the very least, the whole entire stock market, if that is a positive thing. Now, if the banks come out and don't look so good, it doesn't look like they will be able to survive through a economic shit show like that, it could be seen as a very negative thing, and that is going to come out on Thursday at 3:30 p.m. Now, tomorrow you do have Fed Jerome Powell, like I said in the last video, right here, 8:30 in the morning. A couple other data points as well. You have Fed Evans, Fed Barkin, and Fed Harker that speak after the Fed a couple hours later, but Fed Jerome Powell, that's really going to dominate the headlines. And then even the next day on Thursday as well, you also have Fed Jerome Powell at 9 a.m. So that is going to be the main thing of this week, and that's really what to pay attention to. Now, I will say, even given our 2.5% rally that we're seeing today on the S&P, you're still at very, very low levels. It was not long ago where we were looking at the $400 level on the S&P, and basically we're like shocked that we fell under that, and then we really recently just cratered under that down to 362. So even to see a retracement in the S&P of 2.5%, there could be a lot more potentially to come. If we look at the Nasdaq year to date, we're still down 30.08%. It has been a very, very bad year. So to see a multi-week even rally until the next Fed meeting, which comes out, or the next real data point, which will change the rate hike expectations, which is still not for probably at least 2 weeks from now, that's when you could see some more downside pressure, in my personal opinion. Obviously, if Fed Jerome Powell does surprise us tomorrow with new information, that is going to be something the markets could freak out about. But I think the markets are in a pretty comfortable spot. We're not really expecting anything good over the next 6 to 12 months. We're expecting a recession. We're expecting the consumer to slow down, lending to slow down. We're expecting profits to come down at a lot of companies. Even the foreign exchange is really messed up right now, and that's even why Microsoft dropped its guidance, right? The foreign exchange changing, let's say a Japanese yen into a dollar, that conversion ratio, depending on what the currencies do, go up or down, weaken or strengthen, that affects earnings. So I think a lot of bad news is already priced into the markets, and I think the big thing that I want to watch for from this point over the next couple of weeks is really, when do the markets fully grasp that the Fed is going to raise rates during a recession? That has only happened twice in the history of the Federal Reserve, which has been around over 100 years now. It's only happened twice, in 1974 and 1981. So that's when I think you could ultimately hit very low levels, and you could see that essentially capitulation. Like Kevin O'Leary said, we need a what do you say, 3,000 point down day on the Dow. That would be like 10%. So that's when you hit the bottom, and I do expect those negative thoughts, really just worse sentiment than what we see now over the next coming weeks. It could be the next couple of months, but that's when you ultimately hit the bottom. But until we get the Fed meeting July 27th, bad data, like I said, you're probably going to see a slow and steady move to the upside. Obviously, tomorrow could be red, the day after that could be green, back and forth, but I think we do trend to the upside for a little bit of time. And we are seeing some interesting things happening with AMC stock for the day, especially in the options market. This trade in particular, the January 20th, 2023 $20 calls, we are seeing a position that came in for about $400,000 worth, a position for about $57,000 worth, and another position for about $61,000 worth. That's about $500,000 buying these $20 calls expiring January 20th, 2023. 2023 might sound like a long time away, but it's only 6 months away. So you really need the stock to move up in a substantial way if you are buying these options to actually make money on them. So this is a very, very bullish directional trade. It's almost 100% out of the money, and I think it could be a better sign than not. Still, on the day, we're down about 0.5%. The interesting flow sentiment shows us that there was 11 orders totaling $3.57 million with a positive order value of 18%. So, you know, given where we sit with that, it's causing a lot of downside pressure still. I don't think there's a lot of shorting actually going on right now in terms of shares, but I do think the option activity is really pushing on the stock one direction or the other. With all of the IOUs, the market makers can essentially issue out, whether it is to the call side or to the put side. Obviously, bullish for calls, bearish for puts. Nonetheless, the current short interest of free flow is 22.79%. Current short interest, or shares that are sold short, I should say. It says current SI, but 117.5 million shares. Cost to borrow minimum 13.6%. Cost to borrow average 19.16%. Cost to borrow max at 24.58%. 100% share utilization. Days to cover at 3.69. Shares out on loan 193.39 million. Free flow out on loan 37.5%. So that is that. That's really all for the Ortex data. Keep in mind what is happening with the option activity. If nobody else goes over this with you guys on a daily basis, you guys definitely want to stay tuned for that, because the options tend to give us a glimpse into what hedge funds are expecting to happen, and what, you know, they expect to happen on the option chain tends to happen with the actual share price of AMC. So there is that. As far as the Stonko tracker data, like we said in the last video, nothing too crazy. July 15th, that's going to be the next chance that we do see a substantial run-up in terms of the option activity. Like I said, I do think options are controlling the show here for good and bad. So I think on bad days, it's not helping. I think on good days, it will help a lot, right? So you're looking at about 10,500 calls that are in the money, 407,000 calls that are out of the money, and 87,000 puts that are currently in the money. So a very, very large option expiration that is coming just down the line. Now, if we take a look at the actual technicals, something that I am very, very bullish on is think about where the markets are in terms of the S&P and what has happened over the last, call it 5 to 10 trading days. You have fallen a lot, even where we are right now from the peak that we just seen back here on June 2nd. You are still down 9.87% at today's close from June 2nd. That was 19 days ago. That was like 12 trading days ago, right? Something like that. You're still down 10%. From the bottom that we just seen at 362, you're still down 13% since June 2nd. So I do want to make it very clear. Look at the chart of the S&P. Pretty much straight down with a slight bounce. Look at the chart of AMC. It's pretty much the opposite here. AMC has actually been trending to the upside ever so slightly since we did hit those lows like we seen on Thursday, even considering the low was about $11.46 per share. We are at $12.48 per share right now. That is still a 5% move for AMC stock, which is much better than the overall markets, and you can see AMC is holding up very well. So I think it's ultimately going to come down to, when does the volume head back into the stock? When can the stock break out of key levels as far as with the option activity? Because $13 going to be a very important level, $15 going to be more important than that, and I think you do need a solid technical breakout factor here, maybe crossing above this 50-day moving average or the 100-day moving average. That could possibly give us a larger, volume day, some more explosive price action overall, or it is a catalyst. And I do think we will see a bullish reaction based off the technicals, based off of just the overall market bounce that I think we're going to get. I think it's very well possible that we are in between $14 and $16 per share to close out Friday, if not slightly higher than that, maybe around the $18 level if we do get some kind of good news. If we don't, I firmly expect us to be in between $14 and $16 per share. Why I say that is because the 50-day moving average, once we come up and approach that, I think it's going to be pretty easy to get some momentum breakout above that. You'll probably see some resistance around the 100-day moving average at $16.12 per share. So it wouldn't surprise me seeing this week play out just like that. Maybe tomorrow is a muted day, and then you get Thursday that comes around and you shoot past 14. Find resistance at 16, chill out somewhere in between 14 and 16, probably in the 15-ish dollar range, and that would be a sizable move for the week nonetheless. Now, if a catalyst comes out good or bad, obviously I'm not a fortune teller. I don't know what would happen. Obviously, if it's a good catalyst, hopefully it'd be a good reaction. Same thing for the negative. If it's a bad catalyst, it probably won't be good. But I think AMC, just on a fundamental basis, is on the up and up, and we're kind of just waiting around for an update to the business. So that's pretty much going to be all for this video. As far as other technical factors, the RSI is at 47.61. The MACD slightly bullish. Like I said, the RSI, if you guys did not watch the last video, this thing is under the neutral level of 50, so it is slightly on the bearish side as well. I have full faith and confidence in the trade. If you don't, feel free to sell out your position. I don't care if you sell, hold, buy, fall asleep and forget about your share. I don't care what you do with your position. Let's be honest here. If you don't agree with this information, leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. Would love to hear from you guys. On your way out, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, comment down below what you guys think. Get your free stocks with Webull, Moomoo, and Public. Right now, it's the best promotion Moomoo is ever going to give. Probably any brokerage is ever going to give. Deposit $100, get 7 free shares. I believe they're still giving out a free share of Twitter or Neo as well, so you guys do want to take advantage of that while it does last. If you guys want to trade with me in real time, link down below in the description or in the pinned comment. Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.